Hello everyone, welcome back to Educate Cube's Advanced Microsoft Excel Power Query tutorial. In today's Power Query tutorial, we are diving into key skills in business intelligence. That is, how to add data to Power Query or Power BI from SQL, or you can say how to connect and add data from an SQL query to Power Query and Power BI. Whether you are beginner in data analytics or an Excel expert or looking to master Power BI and Power Query for building interactive dashboard, this is the right place to start. So why connect SQL to Power BI or Power Query? Connecting Microsoft SQL databases directly to Power BI and Microsoft Power Query is a game changer. This process allows you to pull live dynamic data straight from Microsoft SQL Server, making your data analysis more efficient and real time. This integration is essential for anyone interested in data science, business intelligence, or data visualization. For the demonstration, I will open Excel Power Query. However, the steps are identical whether you are connecting Microsoft SQL Server to Power BI or Excel Power Query, as Power Query functions similarly in both. To add data to Power Query or Power BI from Microsoft SQL Query, Microsoft SQL Server needs to be installed on your system. Without Microsoft SQL Server, you won't be able to connect. Many of you might not have the Microsoft SQL Server installed on your system, but it is a necessary prerequisite to import data from Microsoft SQL Server into Power Query or Power BI. To help you, Educate Cube offers a free Microsoft SQL course. Click on the card above or use the link in the description to access it. This course covers SQL basics and advanced and includes a tutorial on installing Microsoft SQL Server, allowing you to practice on your system and build confidence. So let's begin. Click on the data tab over here. Click on the get data and click here from databases. From the databases, you will get option to select from SQL Server database. Alternatively, you can click on launch Power Query Editor. Click on it. On the Power Query Editor home tab, there's a new source option. Click on new source, then in database, then click on SQL Server. Okay, a window will appear asking for two fields: server name, which is mandatory, and the database name, which is optional but recommended for optimizing Power Query. Under advanced option, you will see the command timeout settings, which controls how long Power Query will wait for the SQL query to execute before timing out. This is particularly useful for large data sets, complex queries, or slower SQL servers. I usually set this to 500 minutes, which is approximately 8 hours and 20 minutes. If by any chance my query is taking longer than 10 minutes, it won't throw me an error. Instead, it will try to retrieve data till 500 minutes. In the SQL statement field over here, this is optional and you can write a custom SQL query to pull only the data you need, saving time and improving performance. For instance, if you want data from a specific table, you can enter a simple SQL statement here. I highly recommend optimize your query as it keeps your dashboard running efficiently. Now let's continue and I will open Microsoft SQL Server on my system here. Now, so here it is, my Microsoft SQL Server. Click on connect. It will connect to the database. Please note that when connecting via SQL Server, you will need to enter credentials like your username and password, which your organization will provide. Okay. So here I haven't set any password, anything, but in the organization, you will be getting your password and username. Now click on new query over here. and I paste my query. First, I will show all the data from this educate cube practice one uh, table and removing the filters and pressing F5. Okay. Now here you can see there are only 7 columns and 150 records. Okay. At the bottom, you can see there are only 150 rows, which means 250 records are only over here. However, in a professional environment, you might work with data sets containing 200 columns and millions of records. To keep your Power BI dashboard and Excel optimized, it's recommended to extract only the columns you need. If you have 200 columns in your data sets, focus on the 18 to 20 required columns which are relevant to your business requirements. Similarly, if your data sets covers multiple countries, but you only need data for specific region, filter accordingly. Let's assume our data is large data set. In my query, I will retrieve only 5 columns and exclude product ID and state and filter for the west region. Let's quickly make the query. Okay, okay, I have excluded product ID and state over here in this query, and I will press F5. Now I will copy this query and paste over here in my Excel Power Query. This is a SQL Server database window. In the SQL statement window, I will paste my query over here. And in the command timeout, I will mention 500. I have already cleared why I'm writing 500 over here. Moving back to Microsoft SQL Server, I will click on connect, click on database engine. So as you can see, server name is Nazish slash SQL Express. Okay, just copy it, go back to the SQL Power Query and paste this SQL Server. This is the actual server name which you need to mention over here. And for the database name, go back to Microsoft SQL Server, click on this option. Here you find in front of connect to database, here is your database name. Okay, you just copy it over from here, close this and paste it over here. Okay, now click on OK. Uh, click on OK again. Okay, this method will filter the data to include only the necessary information, optimizing your dataset. Once your query is complete, load the data into Power BI or Excel. From here, you can create interactive dashboard, perform data analysis, and use powerful DAX functions to gain insights. This is a great starting point for beginners to explore Power BI and Power Query's capabilities in building dynamic Power BI reports. Finally, click on Close and Load, and there you have it. You have just learned how to connect and add data from an SQL query into Power Query and Power BI. Here's a quick tip for today. Power BI and Power Query allows you to refresh data so that your dashboard always shows the latest information from Microsoft SQL Server. This feature is especially helpful in data-driven roles like data analytics, data science, and data and business intelligence. Thanks for watching Educate Cube. I hope this tutorials on adding data to Power BI from SQL query was helpful. If you are interested in more Power BI and data analytics tips, subscribe to Educate Q for more tutorials. And let me know in the comments if there is a specific topic you would like to see covered next. Thank you, everyone. Let's meet in another video. Till then, bye bye.